Going.
I'm going dead.
Too late. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Discussing Tabletop. It's the tabletop discussion show where Joe and I, we talk about the tabletop news of the week. We talk about what's came out, anything interesting going on that we can kind of notice, and like some other stuff that kind of sidetracks onto some of these topics here and there. And also some other nerd stuff that sidetracks into those too. The tabletop side of sidetracking happens plenty of times, though.
Nerd stuff.
Nerd stuff. All right.
Nerd.
Too late. Nerd. What was the reference? It's got to be Revenge of the Nerds, but at a nerd school where they're all nerds. So, like, what is that? It's just revenge?
No, it's still of the nerds. It's just we don't know who they're revenging against.
Because you're all nerds.
Yeah.
You're not nerd enough. We're gonna
there's one jock at the school.
No. It's like the reverse. It's like, you're not nerdy enough. Someone give them use our golems to give them wedgies.
I just use a stronger version of Mage Hand and give everyone wedgies.
That's already been invented. And probably
Wedgie hand.
Wedgie hand. So yeah, we got a us physics nerds are better. Hey, I'm a math nerd too. I'm not as good at physics because you have to remember formulas, like a lot of weird like setups for formulas and stuff. But I was okay at physics. But I'm a math nerd. Thank you very much.
I'm a nerdy nerd.
Yeah. So
I'm nerdy about a lot of things.
We got a pretty decent docket for this week. We're going to first talk about Paizo releasing another list of their compatible stuff for Pathfinder. I just wanted to talk about it because there's a couple interesting ones on that list, like the first two, that were kind of weird, and were for Pathfinder First Edition. Portalcon, it's online. It's another one of the... It's actually another one of the... I say medium-sized conventions. It's not your Gen Cons or your Dragon Cons... Or I'm forgetting the third one, which I should remember. But then there's Portalcon, is one of the next tier down. Wardlings, the child-friendly RPGs up on Roll20. There's a Lasombra expansion for Vampire the Masquerade Rivals, which I feel seems to be the decision based on something that happened on Twitch. That's why it kind of is interesting. Then there's Magic of the Old West, an RPG supplement we'll talk about for our regular segments. Yes. But, no, I wanted to start with Pathfinder compatible, rather than more the Starfinder compatible, because, they're putting out a list for everything for both compatible to First Edition Pathfinder, also hi Josh. I probably should have said that. Hi Josh. But they're also showing off... Oh, God. Come on, let me edit this image.
No.
Really, one of these times I do have to switch to OBS Studio. But, I was thinking about doing it today, but I'm like, then that would require more setup, and we're already, right where we should begin. Because I'm bad with timing. The three supplements that I saw on here that seemed really the most interesting were the first three, actually. Two for Pathfinder First Edition and one for Starfinder. The Starfinder one was Plants Symbionts, which I guess are like symbiotes, but symbionts. And they're plant. It's a made-up word. Exobiology and biotechnology combined to an awesome array of options for your campaign with Plant Symbionts. Cast features, spells, feats, Symbionic Master Archetype.
How many feats do you have?
It depends on my class level. Boom.
None if you're a Merfolk.
Grappling claws, air suits, living armor. Oh, that seems neat. The other two are for First Edition, which were the Marvelous Merfolk Compendium of PC Races, where they come up with 22 different types of Merfolk to play. That is way too many Merfolk. 22 playable Merfolk races.
to entertain, inspire, and educate players.
Sure.
I want to be a crab folk.
Yeah. It's Allurian Publishing, but they do draw on something from Dreamscarred Press, which is their Psionics Unleashed, to give some psionic stuff. Neat.
The next one that's on the list would be for lightning.
Well, that's the...
Or blaze. Yeah, the Furball
or worm or umber, technically, to a degree, even though they're more like dragony. Extras: Fur Fabulous 5, which is a anthropomorphic adventurers fight to defend the people and suppression. A Arctic Hare Ranger, Corgi Paladin, Fox Sorcerer, Raccoon Samurai, and Red Panda Monk. Characters range from levels 5 to 13. Can use opponents or allies in your campaign world. So it's NPCs, but they are the most furry NPC collection you could think of.
And it's only for $3.95.
Oh, I mean, the Merfolk one also provides additional mechanics for buoyancy, drag, water pressure, water currents.
How buoyant are you?
I mean, I looked at that and I was like, this is so unnecessary. This is a discussion I've gotten into with Umber and Lightning a lot because we've been doing a first edition Pathfinder campaign setting where it's the unfortunate thing of being left over from 3rd edition and 3.5. There are too many rules at times. You know, 5th edition D&D, very loose. Very limited rules, though that can be a problem sometimes because then, yes, it's nice to rely on the DM, but if the DM has to make a decision that's kind of hard to make, it's going to be like a chance that it's going to go wrong. It could go right, it could go wrong. You know, and things could go like... Having a backup of rules is good. Granted, Pathfinder, again, I'll agree, they're kind of a lot of them. This is too much. Can't we keep the aquatic combat is fine and relatively simple. Do we need to know about buoyancy, drag, water pressure, and air currents? I guess they're saying to add realism to your aquatic encounters. That seems a little much. I'm gonna be honest about that one.
No, I want for first edition the simple classes size changer. You can just change your size.
Oh yeah.
Class.
Yeah. Simple classes, size changer. That's your class, you just change your size. You're Apache Chief.
Oh, God. Do I have to yell a nunchuck?
Yes, you do. You have to be a horrible stereotype. I guess you don't have to be a horrible stereotype. But they mention a pixie using this, and I'm like, for some reason, I feel the pixie with the size changer class, there's something a little off about that one.
Or you can change your size and density.
Some
you can become more
dense. More relative forces, please. Too bad. You can live with your relative forces, Josh. You can live with them. I will keep my just simple mathematics and then the base rules, which are not actually too difficult.
Actually, you know what else? You could be Ant-Man.
I guess you could be Ant-Man, except I don't know. I guess it's a size and density. The entire idea that you are Ant-Man, because that's the entire thing is like he kind of keeps a density or something. That's why he's really strong when he's tiny or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird.
But then it also sort of works when he gets big. I don't know about that one. Like
Mer Ant-Man.
That's combining a little too much weirdness.
Oh God, you can be one of the 22 mermaids and have the shape change class.
They are from different sources, but yes, you could. They are both Pathfinder First Edition compatible. And then battle it out with the Raccoon Samurai.
I'm a Leviathan-sized mermaid.
Uh-huh. The Corgi Paladin is here to take you down. Burk! Burk! You're dangerous to the world! Burk! Burk!
You better be able to swim.
It's a dog.
But it's a paladin, so it might be in heavy armor.
That's true. That's true. Oh my god. I feel
you
like...
must swim in your heavy armor, paladin.
Who's dog swimming now? I mean, there was a fox sorcerer, lightning. Yeah, high lightning, fox sorcerer, flooferer, and then corgi paladin, arctic hare ranger, raccoon samurai, red panda monk. That they can be opponents or allies. Yes, I mean, it's dire corgi games. Do they actually? I would not be surprised if they actually have stats for dire corgi. I feel like that's the thing, is like Pathfinder First Edition, we've gone beyond it. Granted, like, I feel like there could be some exploration for stuff that a third party could look into, but most of it is kind of done. Books like this, yeah, they're interesting, they're putting stuff in. They're also so unnecessary. The anthropomorphic, like, allies/enemies, interesting. A class based around you change your size. That's just
unknown chuck.
Yeah, your
and density.
And density. And then 22.
You can stay the size of a fairy and just be like, I'm the densest fairy that's ever been.
22 different merfolk. I thought one was fine enough. And they're different merfolk races. Are they going for, like, you know, something like a shark merfolk would be different, like, you know, some of those things with merfolk and stuff.
No, but you can shrink, enlarge, and change your density at will.
Yeah, that's the entire class, the size changer class. Someone released that. It was Little Red Goblin Games. They put out some classes.
I wish to play a black hole.
That would be in Starfinder, and you would then be the Black Hole Mage, which probably exists. Like, I originally was like, ooh, plant symbiotes. You're, like, in Starfinder, having, like, weird techno-plant crap going on, or, like, you know, like, alien plant equipment. That sounds kinda neat. Then we have 22 merfolk. Is one of them Ursula? Like a squid or an octopus merfolk kind of thing? Is that where we're going for merfolk races? It's like different types of fish? Like, how are we defining it? Or are we going to, like, you know, Aquaman / Namor, like different kinds of weird merfolk things? Subnautica campaign when? Subnautica campaign would be aquatic Starfinder campaign. I could see that being a Subnautica.
I'm in the lost city of Atlanta.
Georgia?
Yeah, from Futurama.
I know, but that's what the joke was, you know.
I'm naming people.
What? I'm naming people because we're talking about something. Bye. Love you. I'm on stream. Go away.
Hello, stream news.
Superheroes and supervillains. Like, what?
Namor isn't... well, Namor could be a supervillain. He's neutral.
He's been good and
You
bad.
named it
Yes.
Ursula. Come on.
I did name Mersula because in one of the books for role-playing games, there's 22 playable merfolk races, and I'm saying, is one of them an octopus merfolk, like Ursula? Let's see. Anyway.
And let me guess, one of them's the Little Mermaid?
Maybe.
That's her.
Oh my god!
She's the Little Mermaid.
Next you're gonna be naming my lawn.
Next time I'm going to be naming the lawn.
Maybe it's a seahorse.
Unless she's a raccoon samurai, then no, I'm not.
Bottom half seahorse, top half human.
Anyway, I'm just trying to... my entire point here was they're scraping a weird bottom of the barrel that, like, I feel like it's a real hit and miss of... That's accurate. She's definitely a rogue class merfolk. She stole a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stealth.
I'd put her more like archaeologist because she took a lot of stuff from ships and stuff.
Archaeologist Bard.
Yeah,
the Archaeologist Bard from Pathfinder. Yeah. That one's got some cool abilities. Who was playing that in a game? We had a game in Pathfinder where we were going to have someone that was going to be an Archaeologist Bard. I don't know if we went very far, but that was going to be really neat. I think it was our friend Chad who was going to play it. I can't remember though. But anyway, I was just trying to say, bottom of the barrel. They're scraping it for Pathfinder First Edition stuff.
I don't know. Size changing, man. Whole class based on size changes.
You also missed, Lightning, that we were talking about how the Merfolk book brings in buoyancy, drag, water pressure, and water currents to more realistic aquatic encounters. Would you enjoy those in your Pathfinder game? Adding in drag, buoyancy, water pressure, and currents. Some physics.
Yeah.
There's a no. They're optional, fortunately, but I also said no. I mean, God.
Everyone gets water wings.
God. It's neat that people are putting out stuff. I mean, like the Starfinder stuff, great. Starfinder still going strong. Pathfinder 2nd Edition, okay. Pathfinder 1st Edition, It's
There's
been
also
over...
so much stuff already out.
And it's been over a year. That's the thing, is it's been over a year already that First Edition has technically been phased out, you know?
Yeah, but people still play it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still playing it, you know, again, like, because I wanted to play one of the adventure paths with people. We're doing Carrying Crown, and it's been fun. With ups and downs, because it's been like diving into Pathfinder First Edition when some of us weren't familiar with it at all. Some of us didn't even play any of it at all. Maybe better. First Edition, Second Edition is kind of like a hard compare. Fortunately, it's not as bad as like comparing 3rd Edition to 4th Edition. I'd say it's comparing more 3rd Edition D&D to 5th Edition D&D kind of thing. Or 3.5 to 5th Edition. Except it's not quite as gappy, but
at least it's not 3rd to 4th.
Phasing rules. We're talking about Star Trek, the phasing rules. Oh my God, I remember we were talking about how bad they were. Phasing rules.
I shoot phases at all of you.
Anyway, we should move on. This has been a thing that we've talked about for a little bit here. Let's talk about Portalcon. So it's the 13th annual Portalcon. Cool.
Okay, I do not like their freaking opening page.
Their freaking opening page is kind of weird. I feel like the thing about Portalcon and this one here is they should have had a little bit more time to think about a lot of this crap, because, you know, the pandemic's been raging. People should know better about, you know, like, what's going on with all this stuff. Now, this is... Oh, that's right, I remember. Portalcon is one of the big European ones. That's why. We've talked about it before for some stuff released during Europe. That's why I knew it was big. It's not one of the big American ones. It's one of the big European ones, and it's in Poland.
That's why a lot of it's in another language.
You can have it in Polish. Because I think there's 3 or 4 big American ones and a couple big European ones, and I'm remembering. Like, I'm brain dead. I'm like, Portalcon, I know this is an important one. We should talk about it. And I'm brain deading, and all of a sudden, like, it hits me, because I'm like, why is Polish here? It's the Polish one. This is going to be It's actually taking place today. It's free.
Oh, yeah, the 23rd, yep.
23rd. I saw an announcement about this, like, a couple of days ago when I was looking in things, so, like, they must have not, like, put it out a lot. Or if they did, it was maybe in European circuits, unfortunately, and I'm not looking in the right place. Yeah, their website here kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I'm, like, looking over it more.
Like, if you speak Polish, you can see the entire website. If you speak English, they give you a very limited website.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, like, look through some things.
Because there's, like, multiple pages you can look at if you speak Polish. But only one page, only the main page if you speak English.
I'm coming out of the book soon. Realistic lava fighting rules. 3,000 pages of rules for each type of igneous rock and heat levels. I accept your challenge. I will skim the shit out of that book.
Okay, I also want molten metals included in there.
Okay. So, yes, Portalcon. Now I'm looking into it. The reason that it's 13th annual, the reason why it's kind of big is because it's like the first large convention of the year. Oxygen not included level rules of melting points. That's next for a fee. Everything can be melted. So yeah.
Like I said, you can only look at the main page unless you speak Polish.
Yeah.
So it's not very friendly for
I'm trying to
Polish speakers.
Yeah, here, I will give you Portalcon link for everybody to enjoy. I'm trying to do a little bit more research on it.
Select your free ticket.
Oh, because Portal Games is one of larger companies. So they've
That's
always...
right.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that they're like a larger company too, and they've always been doing their own convention. It's one of that's why I say it was like one of the middle grounds, but it's like the kind of start of convention season. It's this one and PAX South, which are the kind of beginning of the convention season. God. It's been so long since I actually looked into conventions and stuff. I'm forgetting so much. This, losing a year of shit is just fricked my brain.
You have a brain?
Usually.
Where do you keep it?
God. Yeah, tabletop gaming conventions. There's just so many large cons, though, too, is one of those things. So it's kind of hard to, figure out all of them. But no.
It's a con job.
It's nice to see them doing something, at least. Since they've had their own kind of this is research I don't know, but I'm curious. Is this the biggest tabletop gaming convention in Poland? Is it the only tabletop convention in Poland? Probably not. But it's the biggest. Maybe there should be a book written about the rules for conventions. Only if you're having a convention in your role-playing game, which I had one in Records of Evil, but we didn't have anything happen there. And that's 5th edition, and I don't know if you could give us 5th edition rules, and it'd be very acceptable. I'm just saying.
You must always wear your armor.
Mm-hmm. The only ones they're mentioning a couple of the big games that I know that they have. I'm remembering them. I'm they're listing stuff here that I can look at. Robinson Crusoe: The Book of Adventures, which is for their Robinson Crusoe expansion for the Robinson Crusoe game. Empires of the North, Northern Egyptian Kings, another expansion. I've heard of Empires of the North. I've heard of Robinson Crusoe. They're also the people that do Detective: A Modern Crime board game. And Imperial Settlers, which we've talked about a bunch of these already. So it's Portal's been on our things.
Yeah.
No deodorant, no showering. Spends way too much money. No. Used to downtime rules for playing cards or something. God. Anyway, yeah. So Portalcon, it's on now. I mean, I don't know how much of it's in English or how much of it's in Polish. So good luck to you if you dive deep into that one.
Maybe they speak Polish.
They could. You're up. Let's see her. There's not any great lists here. North America, United States. Anyway, we should probably move on, though. As much as I'd like to dive deep into this, like...
Polish con?
convention brain thing happening. Bad, Grum, Blordbath. Wardlings. Wardlings thing. Me speak now.
It's now available at Roll20.
Oh my god.
What do you think about that?
I broke so bad there for a second.
That's why I continued for you.
Thank you. Brain, no work now. Bad than normal Brad brain work. Normal bad. This worse than normal bad. Wardlings.
Why do you sound like Fry?
Well, how he, like, types things in for, like, the brains.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, me go now. Vital Lesser Nerd. You're welcome. So, Renegade Game Studios is having a new partnership with Roll20. I'm like, okay, so Renegade Game Studios, we know that they put out some RPGs. Wardlings is their kind of more kid-friendly ones. They've done, we were talking about one last week by them, which I honestly am forgetting what we talked about last week, because I'm that good at remembering stuff.
Let me see.
Kids on Bikes we've talked about from them. Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon, yeah.
Altered Carbon.
That's not a kid's game.
Yes. But anyway, I'm trying to say, like, they've been trying to get into the RPG market beyond their pretty extensive gaming market, which they've had. They've also had, like, Outbreak Undead, which has been out for a while. Wardlings, which is their, like, yeah, cute art and kind of more kid-friendly book. Because the entire idea of Wardlings is it could have kids in it, which you remove from the game for XP.
Kill a kid with 500 XP.
So, Wardlings is a campaign setting that's supposed to be 5th edition compatible. I don't know how 5th edition compatible it is, but that's what they call it. I've not had a chance to check it out in depth, which is, you know, just, you know, maybe I can show something here quickly. I might be looking something up, just saying.
It was just a bunch of mumbles.
Mumble, 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 mumble. Well, anyway, Wardlings is all about they're a bunch of kids that are, like, able to, like, see and manipulate magics and the adults can't, kind of thing, you know. It's a traditional kind of, like, story that's probably better for kids. I don't know if better for kids. Kid-friendly?
Geared more towards kids.
Geared more towards kids. I think it could be definitely something that an adult would be fine with. You know, that's something I don't see a problem with. It's just probably geared more towards kids. Anyway, so there's a new adventure manual with custom maps, character manual compatible stuff. Yeah, there you go, child. Have this bone sword, now kill a monster. Player tokens, handout packs. I remember that it was originally a Weeds Kids pre-painted miniatures. And the kids were capable of perceiving and interacting with the magic of the world. Yeah, there we go. And it's meant for ages 10 and up. So, I mean, it's not, like, very young kids. We've seen RPGs that are based more around young kids. This is for, like, your, you know, getting into around 10 years old. You know, you're getting into a little level of maturity and stuff like that. But, you know, it's still something that you can play with younger kids. Or preteens.
Preens.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see that they're going for the full things on, yeah. Like the original one, Zelda was, or Link was supposed to be a kid. I think the second one he wasn't. But like all the other ones, he's supposed to be pretty young. Yeah, Link is always supposed to be on the younger side. Even like in the second one, I don't think he's that old. Anyway, I was going to say, it's nice to see them having stuff like this up in Roll20. I like to see more where... The thing about Roll20 and setting up your own adventures of it, it's still, like, a process. I like seeing that, like, it provides things that, like, it's very easily compatible and stuff, and you can load them in very easily. Yeah, having someone that has zero attention span video games will be playing these games. I think the nature of the kid depends on it. If you're talking about someone that's like plays a lot of first person shooter kind of kid, you're not going to get them into this. But like kids that would play role playing games. I was a kid that would play role playing games. Honestly speaking, you know, I played the crap out of Dragon Warrior 4 before I was 10, because that came out in. Now I actually have to look that up. Damn it. Though now it's Dragon Quest 4. Thank you very much.
But
1990. I was 7, and I was playing the crap out of that game.
I mean, we had experience with younger players in kid realm with someone who couldn't keep attention.
The thing is, it depends on the person. Who they are, you know, you have to know your audience, kind of thing. Especially if you're coming up with this. If you're coming up with a random audience, that's kind of, well, you get that with normal role playing games. Yeah, like Josh is saying, like he's got nephews that would like playing games with him. Alone, probably not. Yeah, it's the thing of like, I know. You can get like kids that you can sit down and do stuff with.
Oh yeah.
There's definitely those that you can't. And again, like I was trying to say, like getting a random group together, especially younger audience, that's kind of difficult. I'm gonna readjust this a little bit here. Camera's like a little off center. Must have knocked it. I just realized it now. But like, it's like that same thing with random people. Like if I grabbed a random group of people and tried to run a role playing game with them, I might have issues too. Because honestly, you don't know people until you start doing them. They might want to play, but if you get someone that's a lot more like murder hobo-y and someone that's a lot more wants to role play, the compatibility between those two oftentimes makes it difficult to play.
Murder hobo murders the role player?
No. But yeah, it's 100. The original book was 162 book campaign guide based on the miniature series. Now they've got some adventures up on Roll20. You can probably get the campaign guide in through Roll20. The full bundle, which includes the book, they're selling it for $40 on Roll20. Which I don't buy a lot of stuff in Roll20. Normally I've bought a few token things when they were on sale.
And tile stuff, yeah.
And tile stuff, but not a lot. I know they vary in price. So do I know if this is good price, bad price? I can't say for sure, honestly speaking. I mean, it includes an in-app compendium, it includes an art pack, it includes the module and everything for setting up and using the module in it, and it does include the campaign guide.
For $40, it's right on the normal price. Like Dungeon Master's Guide,
okay,
for 5th edition's $39.99. Alien Archive for Pathfinder 2, or for Starfinder is $40. So it's right on the normal
Roll20 price range. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad to see more. We might see like Altered Carbon or some of their other games end up on Roll20 because they're saying that they're having a partnership, putting more stuff out on it, which is good. I like when companies put more stuff on Roll20. I don't always take advantage of it, but I like the option of taking advantage of it because it makes it so much easier. Like, the convenience of having it on Roll20 is less work for you. Honestly speaking. Yeah. Like, if I'm setting up, like, if I'm playing a pre-made adventure, and I've got to set up maps, and I've got to, like, clip them out of a PDF I have into Roll20 because I can't upload it otherwise, it's extra work, you know? Yeah,
Very true.
So, glad to see that. But also from Renegade Game Studios, we now have what's called the Backer Choice Winner. Okay, so actually I think, like, they have a vampire stream on Twitch, apparently, Renegade Game Studios. So that's what I was looking at for why it's related to Twitch. But I'm guessing what they did is they did a survey for backers of the Kickstarter. I assume is what they mean by the English on here.
Yes.
And that the backers of the Kickstarter chose Lasombra as their next thing on Vampire the Masquerade Rivals. Because I remember, didn't we talk about Rivals?
I think we might have. All I know is the one guy on the box there kind of looks almost like oh god.
It's Agent 47 from Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman. That's what I was trying to think of. Like,
You're right.
He looks like fucking Hitman.
It's Agent 47 as a vampire. He's probably Ventru. Would he be, though? As a Ventru assassin? I could see that. He's got that kind of, like, business kind of side of things, but I don't know. That's a very weird discussion, is, like, he does murders people, but he's not, like, an Assamite who's an assassin, but they're very much more like a different type of assassin. He's the kind of, like, infiltration, switch out, you know, like, infiltrate an area, get close to the target kind of murder. Very personal murder, you know. He's a different kind of, like, he's not like, he is a little stealthy too, so I don't know. Look like everybody. Yeah. A lot of obfuscate he'd have.
Oh no, he has to walk around going like this.
Or what was it? I can't remember what I said now. Because Obteneration and Obfuscate, it was like I combined the two of them. I can't remember what I called it. It's in our quote book, but I said something stupid about it, combining them. So there apparently was a poll to choose what clan it included in upcoming expansions, and then a Lasombra run by a narrow victory of 29% in the vote. So it's going to be a future expansion. They wanted to announce it. You know, it's kind of neat that they did a backers choice poll. That's kind of cool. I think, like, that's why, like, I was like, you know, I like that they have feedback that Play Renegade is a Twitch channel, and now I have gone to it briefly. Let's see what they have on their Play Renegade videos. Are they saved? Do they exist?
Do you exist?
Do
I exist?
Playing some of their own board games, it looks like. So I'm guessing interviews with their own stuff. I mean, you know, it's the usual you kind of get from this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Neat. I mean, the evolution of, like, people on Twitch has become a long way. Because, like, I remember, like, the first thing is you had big convention Twitch channels. Like, you had PAX has their Twitch channels and stuff. And, you know, some of the other big conventions have things where they're going out on Twitch. Now, a lot of game companies are streaming stuff to, like, show off their things. And I think that's actually not a bad idea for more interaction. Granted, like, some of the stuff from, like, some of, like, the podcasty stuff is just not great. I've heard news of on certain things, especially on Wizard's side on the Magic end. Sometimes they're a little, like, off topic, or, like, say things that are a little, like, yay, great for you. That's not, like, good to talk about, because, you know, we look at that and we're like, our money-making scheme was making extra amounts of money-making. That's why we'll keep doing it. It's like, you're saying that to us. Plenty of us are smart enough to see that as your money-making scheme. I know there's a bunch of people that buy it.
Just being honest about it.
I know. At least they're being honest, but
They're being honest about being dishonest to their customers.
they were talking about secret layers, and they're like, the Walking Dead one was the one we earned the most money on, and I'm like,
Yeah, well.
Oh yeah, like Josh, I gotta talk to you about if you've tried out the multiplayer mod of Subnautica that me and Blaze were looking into, because we gotta try that if it works. That'd be awesome. But Lasombra is always a really cool clan. It'd be neat to check out more stuff. The Vampire Rivals game looked neat. I can't remember what we said about it otherwise than that, because my brain has just forgotten so much stuff, so I'm gonna have to walk away from it now. Boopity 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 boop. Yeah, just let us know if you ever figure it out, because we're dumb. Me and Blaze, we count as dumb, because we didn't understand it. We're like, server setups.
Oh god,
like
no,
Minecraft or Ark. It was exactly the same kind of way. It required server setups. So we were looking at it, and then we were like, after spending 15 minutes working on it, we're like, we're gonna ask the only other person we know that worked on servers before, Josh, because we don't know the shit about this stuff.
I set up server stuff, but the Arc one was just bad. It was also cross-platform because
the cross-platform for Arc just seemed like it wasn't working. It was unfortunate they're saying they had it, and I don't even know if they've ever gotten it working.
Yeah, it was just bad. Epic's a great thing, but it does not play well with Steam.
I mean, I'm glad that stuff like the Civ 6 one works pretty well, though I'm unsure if it's that or there has been some issues with saves and stuff that I've had a couple of times, but rarely. I was playing with I think it was Umber and was it Blaze? Maybe a game.
It was me at one point,
and we tried to get back to it, and the save wouldn't load.
Yeah, that was the one with me.
Okay, it was the one with you, and I kind of was like, well, that kind of sucks. Is it? Because...
And then we tested it again later, and it was working fine. And it's like, well, what the?
I just think the save got corrupted.
We did a new game, and it worked, and it was like...
I don't know if it's just the game got corrupted or something about that, but I feel bad because, I wanted to play more with Umber, and he kind of got burned off of that just quickly because of that kind of issue of well, got to play new every time. Kind of sucks. And I agree on that. So, Magic of the Old West. Origins, Gen Con, Dragon Con, and there's one more. Frick. Magfest. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by something because I still have the list of conventions in the U.S., tabletop conventions. I'm trying to figure out which one I was thinking of. Magic of the Old West. It is a book. But English. It is a book. That's the end of the sentence there. So it's a supplement that's technically for the Cthulhu Live 3rd edition LARP book. This supplement to the introduce 8 magic additions, new spells for each mechanics for that. So and can be used in the Call of Cthulhu game. So, not to turn everybody off that it's a LARP book, it's technically doing Call of Cthulhu Old West style, though the way they portray it is technically for the Call of Cthulhu LARP primarily. It's just, it requires a little bit of adaptation to the actual Call of Cthulhu tabletop game. So,
I mean, LARP's not bad.
I'm not saying anything bad about LARP. We don't talk about LARP a lot because there's not a lot of stuff that comes out for it.
Well, we also haven't done much of it.
We've done a little bit of LARP stuff before, not a huge things. And I mean, I could always talk to our friend, even if he's not going to be on the show. We've had someone that did a lot of Vampire the Masquerade LARP. And if I wanted to talk to him about it and get some information, I could dive in depth about it and kind of have discussions with him. Probably.
Right.
But yeah, so Cthulhu Live is the Call of Cthulhu connected LARP system. So it's mainly made for that as some stuff for setup for information for it. Though again, it's supposed to be like magic of the Old West. Could be used in Call of Cthulhu. Mechanics for spells, rituals, components, fast cast, and visible effects. You're not wrong, though. Vampire Life is just high school goth parties. I mean, the person that we knew that did Vampire LARP, he did it in college, technically, and he actually...
College goth parties.
And we were invited to try out a LARP up in Allentown.
Out of college.
Out of college. I think because that our friend was dating someone, or trying to date someone that was up there.
They were dating someone.
Did we go to Denny's afterwards?
That I don't remember.
I remember somewhere that had food.
I remember doing it a bit.
We were bad. Man, I want to go to a Denny's. I want to go to food somewhere. Some places are open, and I know I could probably go to them, but I don't know if I should. It's that kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe during an afternoon when no one's around. Like, go to, like, a restaurant where probably there won't be a lot of people anyway, regardless of not having a lot of people because of pandemic. Maybe just somewhere on my own. I went to Applebee's a couple times on my own. Maybe do that.
On my own.
I don't know. I don't know. And I should bother Erica. I'll talk about doing something with her, but, new baby. But I'm getting detracted. Medieval LARP in the past. And you have to remember, we put ourselves together our own LARP system the one year. We were all hanging out at... I don't know if you joined us.
I don't remember doing it in our own LARP system, so probably not.
No, I don't think you joined us for that. It was me, Colin, Blaze, our friend Karen, our friend Colin who passed away, our friend Karen who's in Texas now, and I think our friend Chad joined us for a little bit. We did a LARP at the park near Best Way.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Whites Road Park? Whites Road Park in Lansdale. We would go hang out there, do like this weird kind of LARP game, which I did find some stuff for like a couple of years ago, and I put it in my paperwork because we had like little notes on our like characters that we were playing, and we all had a good character and an evil character we'd switch off of.
I remember in that park doing the one LARP that Dan used to run with the padded swords and everything.
I don't remember. I always did remember if I did anything with that, it was his backyard. I don't remember doing that. But I also remember we did... Yeah, I also remember Capture the Flag or something in that park with the SGS once a year when we were doing that for a while. I don't know why we stopped it, honestly. But there was something about a transition somewhere. But anyway, we'd also then do the LARP and go to Wendy's because that was down the road. And that's where the salt sugar thing happened. Where I used to dip my fries in salt, and Blaze poured carefully sugar on top of it, so it was like the... Bah.
Why are these sweet?
Why are this sweet? And then our other friend, Colin, who passed away, unfortunately, tried to do it again, but he just poured an entire packet of sugar and didn't fix it, so I came back from like the bathroom and I'm like, huh. This seems noticeably not the same. But anyway, Magic of the Old West. It's a LARP book for Western versions of Call of Cthulhu adventures. Well, Call of Cthulhu Live, or again, can be easily adapted to Call of Cthulhu. So that's kind of neat. I mean, like, Call of Cthulhu is one of those games that, like, I feel would transition very well to West because it's kind of newish in that time period. Man, if I could grab a bunch of my online friends and we could do, like, a LARP for just a little bit to test it out, I would not be against that. I don't know who would run it. I would not be good at running a LARP, but I would try it. Like, I'm not technically against trying Warhammer. I won't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to paint anything or build any terrains. I'm not against trying it. That was in my joking way, Alex. Yeah, warp camping. Oh, camping. I like camping. Summer camping. There's some nice campsites I know about. Man.
Maryland.
Well, also, it's, I'm forgetting it. There's a park in Virginia that you can go to. That's one of their national parks. That's really nice for camping. I mean, really nice. Like, when we would go for camping trips for, like, a couple of days, that's where we'd go. Sure, I can hear your dark and camping with tragic backstory. Go ahead, Lightning.
I was born at night.
Dun dun dun. And as soon as I was a baby, all of my parents were dead. Instantaneously.
You were a baby.
Yeah, Virginia on the Potomac Camping Ground. Virginia Park on Potomac River. There we go. I'll figure it out eventually.
Well, I actually have a Kickstarter for today.
Oh yeah, so why don't we Westmoreland State Park. Boom, I found it. And I remember it because it's technically Westmoreland is only a few hours away from the cabins. You could technically take a day trip there. I remembered stuff. My brain isn't completely broken. Only mostly.
Oh God, Lightning has turned into Batman.
I was gonna spell docket so wrong to put the docket again in trap. Chat. What's your Kickstarter, Joe?
My Kickstarter is Fearless Franco.
Ooh.
And the reason I even looked at it originally was next to the title it says "Screw your neighbor" while he's mid-air board game. Basically, you're Fearless Franco. You're playing a stunt jumper.
Okay.
Kind of like oh God, why can't I think of his name now?
Evil Knievel?
Evil Knievel. And they are at $126 of their $9,500 goal.
That doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, they got 29 days to go.
So,
It's like the first day or so of...
You basically caught it, like, right away.
Yeah, and they have 4 backers. 3 to 4 people is ideal. 1 to 9 people is possible. Ages 16 to 55. Too rude for seniors.
With a huge house of butler, you would understand.
Wait, what?
Lightning's still doing his Batman thing.
Oh, yes.
I was forced to grow up in that family. My only company was pain and a huge house and a butler. You would understand. Oh, God.
You play as Franco in his... time is 2 hours if Franco is awesome. 15 minutes if Franco sucks. You play as Franco and his close friends, scheduling jumps, upgrading vehicles, completing jumps, healing injuries. Franco wants that glory, but he needs to manage his money because his so-called friends want a piece of the pie. The game has almost 300 cards and thousands of dollars in fake money. It looks like it's like a bit of everything kind of game. It looks like there's dice, cards, and also a mechanic where you actually fling your vehicle off a ramp onto a target board. So dexterity as well. It's a little bit of everything.
Cool.
So I thought it was interesting to mention. The artwork's kind of funny. It looks a little 70-ish.
Nice.
But there you go. So if it's something that interests you, it's early on, and for a pledge of $49 or more, you can get a copy of the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will give out the mighty and powerful Owlbear plush. Owlbear plush.
Because everyone needs a plushie owlbear.
Everyone needs a plushie owlbear. Mm-hmm. So there's some digital goodies. The digital goodies. Let's see here. An owlbear art book, a short 5e adventure, wallpaper design, Ryutama journal essay, some art book expansions. The deluxe box includes a plush collector's box, caretaker's pledge. So like the basic one is $35, and for $5 you get the digital stuff, so you get like a little adventure. For $35, you get the digital goods and an owlbear plush. And for $60, you get the deluxe owlbear box, physical accessories, the plush, and the digital accessories. $65, you get 2 plushies and the digital stuff, etc., etc., kind of up that way.
$85, you get the owlbear twins with a box.
Yes, you can just tiny plushie owlbear, which is kind of adorable, honestly speaking. I mean...
Oh, owlbears are adorable. Adorable.
Mm-hmm. Both of those probably work.
And I just have to mention, there was a game this week called American Pandemic, the party card game.
I'm going to ignore that anyway. So it's funded. It hit its goal. 22 days to go. You'd just be adding to it. They're just getting stretch goals and stuff. I mean, they say funded in 30 minutes, and I'm like, yes, it was.
Oh, it's owlbears. Who doesn't love owlbears?
So there's like goodies expansions that they're doing for stretch goals, accessories for the owlbear, and brand tags or something. So your owlbear could get to have a little hat or something maybe for some accessories. But plushie owlbear. That's what they're releasing. Anyway. So, let's move on to our other regular segments. Since we got our Kickstarters done with, our week in tabletop.
We've been segmented.
It's busy week. I think I have...
we actually, Sunday, starting off the week, we actually did some tabletop.
We did some tabletop simulator. Simulator. We did Mysterium. We did a lot of Mysterium. We played a bunch of games of it. It was fun. Yeah, 5 games of it. It was fun. We had 5 players. Someone had to leave for the last game. So did 5 4-player or 5 5-player game, 4 5-player games, 1 4-player game.
Yes.
Mysterium was fun. It was good. It was a good time to get some of that in. On Monday, I did do Records of Evil, where they've effectively picked up their version of Fantasy Australia's version of Crocodile Dundee as their guide.
Good day, mate.
Mm-hmm. And I forget his exact name, but he's like his sandworm is his title because he hunts sandworms.
Mikey.
Yeah, and I've now defended that my bad Australian accent is realistic for OS because that's the accent they have there. Because it's Fantasy Australia, not real Australia. So I can sound as bad as I want, and it's a real accent there. Yeah.
You in a bad accent? Never.
Did we do Legacies of Kain? I think we canceled Legacies of Kain. I think we did. I'm trying to remember what happened. Yeah, because I played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on Tuesday instead because we canceled it. So I did some more of that where I got to Hollywood in that game. We canceled Carrying Crown because some people have been like moving. One of the players has been moving, and the other person's been pretty sick lately. So we have canceled that. We had Children of Wrath, where you've gone back to Magic College, and you got a probably maybe haunted manor that you're going to be living in for dirt cheap. Because it's abandoned and probably haunted. And the
and it's next to the Suicide Cliffs.
It's next to the Suicide Cliffs, and the former owner was only found with 2 eyes and a tongue.
If only not with. The former owner, all that was left of him that they found was 2 eyes and a tongue.
Mm-hmm. And that's next to so, I mean, it's really, really bad real estate. But you got it dirt cheap.
It's actually really good real estate, technically.
Oh yeah, it's awesome real estate. It's just that you got it dirt cheap because it's kind of awful.
I think they're experimenting in some dark magic here.
You'll be fine.
Especially with the one room that was exploded outward with blood.
Yeah.
With a circle in it.
Mm-hmm. And some kind of weird conjuring circle in the basement. It's probably teleportation. And the cages / cells.
Yeah, and everything's gone.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
There's probably some kind of cult place.
You'll find out. But that was fun. I think that was our main things in tabletop this week. So that's pretty quick and simple. Had some fun, did some adventures.
Simple.
Unless Twitch chat has some questions, I think we're ready to end the show. Then we're a little early.
Lightning, do you have any questions?
Josh is there too, technically. Or anybody else that's been hanging around.
I said funny. Lightning.
Oh, I missed that. You broke up. You broke up on my end for a little bit there, so I missed.
Okay, I just like her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, unfunny. Do you have any questions, Josh?
Yep. Anyway, this four mode races. Squid, octopus, shark, and moray eel. Both are going to be exploring the new fluffy land of cuteness. Yes, it'll be the fluffy land of cuteness. I'll ever so be ready to explore the fluffy land of cuteness. It'll be ever so wonderful.
I'm going to explore the fluffy land of cuteness.
John Delancey? Just lots of John Delancey around? And he's not playing Q, it's just lots of John Delancey around.
Hopefully not for the one episode he was naked on set for.
I mean, some of them if it's a land filled with John Delancey, some of them are going to be naked. I'm just saying. Alright. That's the perfect place to end this stream.
Naked John Delancey's, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, God. I'll get red shirt. Hey, we're next gen era. Red shirts are good. We're command class. They switched them out. They gave security green shirts now. So now the green shirts die. It's not the same.
Gold, not green.
Whatever.
There's a big difference between gold and green.
I always felt
one occasionally. That's
the thing is, it never was as gold as I know they're supposed to be gold, and it looks kind of gold, but there's always I felt like it always looked a little greenish, like gold.
Not on next gen. It was pure gold.
It wasn't looking pure
gold.
It
was goldish yellow. It didn't look green at all.
It looked like it was going towards that green, like that darker colors.
No. It didn't look, I don't know what TV you had that you were watching it on, but I think the color was messed up, sir.
No, that's the color that I always felt it is. It's because yellow kind of eventually goes towards green in the kind of the way they're doing it there, because it's the connection together, and that's why I've always kind of felt like, yes, it's supposed to be that they're gold shirts for security, but just looking at next gen Star Trek Cure the
Here.
Arts. Maybe it's better now. Okay, looking at one of these costumes here, it kind of looks, honestly, olive.
I'm looking at one right now, and it looks pure gold. It does not look green.
Gold is very yellow. This is not yellow. It could be a drab yellow.
Like a mustard color.
Mustard is a good description of it. I'm going to agree with you.
Greenish.
Mustard's kind of greenish.
No!
It's green. It's greenish gold.
Okay, Unfunny, Lightning, what's your vote?
Green might have been the original series.
Yeah.
But I'll give you like an olive is kind of like this yellowish green. I'm saying it's yellowish green. That's what I'm saying about it. I'm not saying it's just green.
Green in it.
Like it also depends on the lighting. Like
yeah, Unfunny wouldn't know.
I gotta be honest, it also depends on the lighting. A lot of the darker lighting from one of the episodes, it kind of appears greenish, but when I see, like, I'm seeing a picture because when I looked up Next Gen Star Trek Security Officer, they gave me Tasha Yar in a very bright thing, and then it looks very gold when it's very well illuminated. And
I guess when it's in a shadow, I could kind of see it, but normally if it's in direct light,
but they usually had it not as in direct light. Like those big bright lights, when you see it, it definitely looks gold. If I compare it next to it, yeah, the colors change greenish gold. I could see the greenish gold though, is what I'm saying. Like, it's because you can't recreate gold as a metal and a color as well, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That was my entire thing about this.
I mean, medical eventually went kind of tealish.
Yes, they kind of changed the colors a little bit too. And again, like, there's definitely lightings where the gold the goldish stands up more, but I always feel like it's like a dark yellow kind of borders on like certain types of like kind of like an olive is yellowish green. Is what I'm saying. Like that's an olive color, and it kind of goes towards that certain like looks at it. Yeah, there's a shadowy one, and they look like a dirty gold green tinted. Yeah. That's what I always associated with it. Like I know it's supposed to be gold when you say that, but I'm always like, it's a terrible gold. This is the stupidest argument I could have ever had.
That's...
The subjectiveness of the colors of Star Trek shit. Oh. That's a perfect place to end this episode, getting into that there. Oh my god. Yeah, like, if you like... I'm sorry, like they give some like artwork that I think would be like equivalent to like what they would show like the Star Trek book, and it's really gold there. But if you like look on the show, it just doesn't show up the same. And I know like even in the original series, like Kirk's outfit is supposed to be kind of goldish, I'm guessing.
He did have a green shirt in a couple episodes. Like Troubles with Tribbles, he was wearing a green shirt with gold trim.
But that's the thing is, like, that's why, like, when you look at his shirt, like, I'm like, I know it's supposed to be more like a yellowish gold, but it just kind of looks like it's got some green mixed in there, too.
But he sometimes did wear a green shirt, too, which makes it even more confusing.
Yeah, and the blue and teal for, like, science and stuff. Anyway. Yeah, Subnautica menu music is great. Let's end it here before I, like, dive too deep into this shit. I'm like losing my mind on it. I've woken up and got my mind working again to Star Trek color patterns of their shirts and arguing about, like, I always thought of them as a little bit more like an olive color, like, you know, in a lot of, when they look like they have an olive color, but in the bright light, they look more gold. Anyway, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our show. I was going to add another word in there, but I'm going to be nice about it. Because it's our show.
Crap that we talk about.
I was going to use a certain curse word that describes show in such a certain way that implies that it is a complete chaos.
Yeah, I get where you're going. I was being nicer to us.
Yes. It's been another fine week of some interesting topics to talk about and a couple of side notes that were just there that existed. I hope everybody is having a great Saturday. If you don't join me or Joe for anything else over the weekend, because I have no idea what our schedules are going to be, whether I'm not going to do some tabletop on stream or something like that, or anything like that, I'll figure it out, you know, or do anything else on stream, I'll figure it out. Should be up on Discord and Twitter when I figure that out. There. Otherwise, see you next week for things like Records of Evil on Monday at 1 p.m. EST, Tuesdays for Legacies of Kame, Thursdays for Children of Wrath at 8, and this show, which hopefully will be back next week for more mighty sassy adventures. Farewell, everybody. Farewell. I'm just gonna... Bye.